Good morning, or depending when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told out of Voice of Radio. So today, we need to take a little bit of a look at a rather lovely set of new gym promos, which is going to be coming around in Japan in the not too distant future. These look very, very fun indeed. We've got a couple of new cards, a couple of reprints, and some of the best artwork you will probably ever see in your life. Lovely. And let's start off with that awesome artwork. We've got ourselves a Tepig. Now, it's got to be borne in mind, right, that this Tepig, it is a reprint of the Tepig that came around in Single Strike Master. It's exactly the same, but it's got significantly better artwork, and the other artwork was very, very cool. I mean, it's a Single Strike Tepig, and if you're playing a Single Strike deck, you have to play Single Strike Tepig, and we don't have another Single Strike Tepig, so you've got to play it. But what I really love here is the artwork, because remember that I showed you that Pig Knight that has the lovely artwork, whereby it's kind of having a lot of food. And then we've also got the alternate art version, the special art version of Tyranitar V. And these actually all go together to make a lovely little story. So you've got Pig Knight just having a big old feast on his card. You've got Pig Knight looking a little bit bad because he hasn't eaten as much as Tyranitar on the Tyranitar card. And then on the Tepig, Tepig's just sitting there kind of looking at the sky like, we done it, boys, we done it. While Pig Knight is passed out in a little bit of a food coma. It's absolutely beautiful. Now, we do have ourselves an alternate art Cherubi here. And there's honestly very little to say about Cherubi. It is, it's a Cherubi. 50 HP, single energy, 10 damage. It's just an alternate art version of it. Honestly, it's not even that different from the regular one. It's not one of the more exciting ones for me. We've got a Galarian Mr. Mime here, an alternate art version of it. And again, this is not the most exciting card you will ever see in your life. The attack for 2 energy lets you flip a coin if head search for an item card and put it into your hand. I'm not terribly in love with it. And I honestly don't like this artwork as much as I like the regular set artwork, which is a little bit sad. But there's an alternate art version of it, and it would be rude if I didn't show it to you. Now, they are just the reprints. Those are cards we've already had. Nobody really cares. Except for the Tepig, the artwork of which is amazing. Hey, speaking of amazing artwork, check out this new Umbreon. This new Umbreon is a thing of absolute beauty. It is one of the coolest, most awesome cards we've seen in a while. I would consider myself a lovely fan. Not only that, of course, but it's also a brand new, never before seen card, so we need to head on over to Twitter and get our translation from the lovely Antoine Boulet. Now, what we've got here is 110 HP Umbreon, which is about right. It's a bit low for a stage 1, but it's about right for an Umbreon. Retreat cost of 1 does mean you can use U-turn board, which is alright. And you've got yourself a weakness to grass, which is fine because nobody plays grass right now. And you're a darkness Pokemon, so you got stuff like Black Market Prism Star, which means you'll give up 1 fewer prize if you get KO'd with darkness energy attached, which is awesome. Not to mention hitting weakness on an Oricorio, which is a relevant card that sees a lot of play and gives up 2 prizes. Yay! So what we've got here is a single energy, 60 damage to one of your opponent's Pokemon that already has any damage counters on it. And this is a kind of attack that I would love on a basic Pokemon. I love the idea of being able to snipe for 60. Because what's going to happen is you're going to do a whole bunch of damage, but you're not quite going to get a KO. So in comes Umbreon here and finishes things off. You have something like an Eternatus, goes and hits the Center Scorch for 270, leaves it with 50 HP remaining. Center Scorch retreats to the bench to try and not give up free prizes. But then Umbreon for a single energy does 60, takes a KO, takes 3 prizes, life is good. The issue we've got here is that it's a stage 1. And not only is it a stage 1, but it's a stage 1 that evolves from a colourless Pokemon. And remember that Eternatus' ability stops you playing non-darkness Pokemon. so you can't even play it in an Eternatus deck. And although the sniping for 60 is nice and we like it, on a stage 1 Pokemon, I'm not sure if I can recommend it particularly heartily, and that does make me genuinely a little bit sad. The Rowlet from Darkness Ablaze will do 60 to any Pokemon, whether they've got damage on or not. And if you played a Bird Keeper this turn, that attack is for free. I think that is probably a better version of this attack, though it makes me sad on my insides to admit that out loud. The second attack, free energy, 80 damage plus confusion. Nice. It's just too expensive. And don't get me wrong, you're an evolved non-V, non-GX Pokemon, so Twin Energy is absolutely on the table, and Triple Acceleration Energy is absolutely on the table, and don't sleep on the fact that we got that Hydreigon that lets you attach as much energy during your turn, as long as it's darkness, as you like. We've got ways to get the energy on there. It's just not a particularly efficient attack. I like Confusion. Confusion is a really underrated special condition because your opponent has to flip a coin to attack, and if Tails, not only does the attack fail, but they also have to take free damage counters. I love it. But where's the 1 or 2 energy attack? If you can give this to me for a twin energy or for a single energy, I'm liking it a lot more. But 80 damage isn't very much. You know, it's not going to get a one-hit KO on an Oricorio. Though you are only 10 damage short, so Vitality Band or Galarian Zigzagoon or something along those lines will work. But even then, should we really be having to do that just to get a KO on 170 HP Oricorio when you're hitting for weakness? I would argue probably not. So you know what? I don't know if I love this Umbreon. I mean, I do. I love the Umbreon, but I don't know if the Umbreon is actually good enough to go and play in a deck. And that makes me genuinely sad, because I love me some Umbreon, but I think it's slightly underwhelming. We need to give it a score, don't we? I'm giving it 3 Wassies. I can see you putting it into a deck at some point. Yeah, you watching. I'm talking specifically to you here, not to the rest of the people. But honestly, I don't think it's a stunning card. Now, Dodrio V we have actually seen before, so we're not going to spend a huge amount of time talking about this. Dodrio V has had its own video, but because we are talking about all of these Pokemon, it seems rude not to mention Dodrio, as it was one of them. Now, Dodrio I really almost aggressively disliked when I first saw it. Do remember it is a Rapid Strike Pokemon, but single energy, 20 damage, during your next turn you deal 80 more. And then free energy, 160, 30 to yourself. So essentially what you do here is turn 1, you try and get a powerful colourless energy, you do 40 damage, and then next turn you add 2 energy from a welder or something along those lines, or turbo patch or whatever really, and then you hit 240, and that 240, or 260 if you've still got a powerful colourless energy on there, added to the 40 you just did, will hit 280, 300 damage, and you got a KO on something like an ADP. I really like this as an early game ADP counter. You do need that extra 20 damage, although you could just have Vitality Band both attacks, and that would do it. Because otherwise you hit 260 and you're 20 damage short. Or you use Galarian Zigzagoon with Scoop Up now, or something like that. But I do really like this, only for turn 1 and 2. After that, I don't think you ever attack with it again. But I do really like it just for that specifically. We've then got Honey. Now, we've seen Honey before. Honey came around as a full art promo when you bought 2 boxes of Single Strike and Rapid Strike Master. And then we never actually saw a regular Honey, a non-full art Honey. Well, here it's coming in. And it's not a bad card. You draw 1 card for each Pokemon V on your opponent's bench. I don't think you're ever going to play this pre-rotation. There's too many GXs around. But post-rotation, when everybody's playing Vs and VMAXs, I could see this seeing some love. I would like it way more with Versus Seeker. Because with Versus Seeker, you can essentially play 1 copy of Honey. And then if your opponent's got like 6 Pokemon V out, Honey just draws you 6. But I can see this seeing a little bit of play. Again, I've done a video about Honey. I'll pop a link to that in the description. But I like this one. I just don't really like it pre-rotation. And then we've got Eevee. Now, first of all, if nothing else, the artwork on this Eevee is absolutely ridiculously over-the-top, brokenly, awesomely, brilliantly great. But it seems to also be a new card. Now, do correct me in the comment section if I'm wrong about this, but it wasn't in Single or Rapid Strike Master, and we haven't had this card yet. So I'm fairly sure this is a new card, not just in terms of artwork that we definitely haven't had yet, I would have remembered, but also in terms of the effects. Now, I actually translated this myself using Google Translate, so, I don't know, go Wassy or something, and it's not a particularly good card. Single energy, and you get to attach an energy from your hand to this Pokemon, which I'm not loving, because he's got 60 HP. If you use an attack to attach an energy, you're just going to get KO'd immediately. And then free energy, 30 damage is way too expensive. You're not going to put free energy on there. So in terms of playability, right, this Eevee isn't good, and I'm not going to pretend for a second that it actually is good. It's not good. I feel very confident about that. But you know what? It's absolutely beautiful, and to get a copy in your binder and just kind of sit it there, yes, obviously, this looks amazing. So there we go, ladies and gentlemen. Those are the lovely gym promos over in Japan. Obviously, we don't actually know how these or when these are being given out. They're being given out at tournaments in Japan, but these tournaments in Japan aren't happening right now, so I suppose we might have to wait a couple of minutes. But for now, ladies and gentlemen, I want to know what you think about this card. I want to know, well, these cards. I want to know which of these look fun, which of these you want to play with, which of these you want to put in your binder. Frankly, anything you want to know. So let me know in the comment section, would ya? Go nuts! Be nice! And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWassy, and Twitch for some live action at twitch.tv/PTCG Radio. If you want to support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all that good stuff, head on over to patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can do exactly that. But by far the most important thing as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.